Good morning, everyone. It's draft day. Thank God. I'm just coming on real quick this morning because there's some breaking news. I'll do a little quickie live stream, maybe 15, 20 minutes. I got like 5 topics. I could take a couple of questions if you have them. But I'm going to be back on at 1 o'clock Pacific time with Jason Aponte, who's at the draft. He's going to be going live from his hotel room, and he's going to be there. And then I will be streaming after the Niners make their pick in round 1, about a half hour after they make it, after we've had a phone presser with the kid. And then I'll go live again after the whole first round, after Lynch and Shanahan talk. I'll give my grade, my takeaways, and then I'll take calls. I'll have a Cohn phone for a little while. So that's what my schedule is today. First, this morning. Last night, I did 49ers After Dark with Jesse Naylor. Shout out Jesse. Subscribe to Last Second Sports. He's great. And we got a bunch of questions. One of the question was, it was more of a suggestion, like, why don't the Niners just trade the number 3 pick or offer it to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers? It was the third live stream I'd done back-to-back last night. I was delirious, and I just lost it. I started like giggling maniacally, and I couldn't answer the question. It just seems so funny to me. Like, the Niners are over here considering taking Mac Jones, and they're like, you know what? Why don't we just get Aaron Rodgers instead? Like, if only it was that simple. So I couldn't even answer the question, and then this morning, news breaks that the Niners actually did offer the number 3 pick for Aaron Rodgers and got turned down. So I guess I wasn't wrong to laugh, but I guess they weren't wrong to try. And you know what? Good for them. Getting Aaron Rodgers is a whole lot more appealing than getting Mac Jones. At least they tried. It just doesn't seem, it's not going to happen because the Packers aren't going to get rid of Aaron Rodgers this year. They might get rid of him next year. They're not committed to him long-term. They did draft Jordan Love, the quarterback, in round 1 last year, but they're not getting rid of Aaron Rodgers this year. And the Niners have to make this offer now because they have a first-round pick now. It's the number 3 pick. Next year, they have Bupkis in first round. The year after that, they got Zilch in round 1. So if Rodgers is available next year, how do they get him? They can't. So they got to try it now. You know, no one sues them for trying. They shot their shot. They went for it. They got turned down. They got blocked in their face, kind of like Dikembe Mutombo. That's what happened. But apparently they also offered Jimmy Garoppolo in the deal and other picks. So they tried. They got rebuffed. Whoever made that comment last night, I'm sorry I laughed at it. Maybe it was John Lynch. Maybe it was John Lynch in disguise, one of his burner accounts. Maybe it was Kyle saying, hey, trying to tell you what we're doing here. I don't know, man. I was off last night. More news. Last night, the reports were that the Patriots were reworking Jimmy Garoppolo's deal to facilitate a trade with the 49ers, which made it seem like something was about to happen. Like they were going to make the trade overnight or during the draft, or it was imminent. And then this morning, Ian Rappaport comes out and is like, yeah, the Niners don't plan on trading Garoppolo unless the offer overwhelms them. And they're not going to get an overwhelming offer. I would be so shocked. We just saw what Teddy Bridgewater went for, a 6th-round pick, plus Carolina had to pay for half of his salary. How are the Niners going to get significantly more than that? The Niners would have to spend a lot of money to send him out. I think realistically, the most you get is a 4th-round pick. The most you get is a 4th-round pick, more likely a 5th. So why is that so helpful? You trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Why? Because Kyle can't stand him? Because they're like a marriage and they want to get divorced and you don't want to even live together. They don't want to look at each other. Is it that bad? I don't know. It's like you get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and you start a rookie. You don't know how he's going to be. You got to bring in probably another veteran. If it's Gardner Minshew, he's a loser. You can't replace Jimmy Garoppolo with Gardner Minshew. You might not like Jimmy Garoppolo, but he has his winning record. He's got his win-loss record. He can say he's a winner. He might not be a lot of things, but for now, he's a winner. Gardner Minshew ain't that. He's a loser. So it seems to me that for now, keep Jimmy. Could his value go much lower? I don't know. It's pretty low already. It could go higher if he could just stay healthy. So that's why last night when thing happened, I didn't really write an article about it. It's like, Kyle said, Jed York just said he doesn't want to play this rookie quarterback too soon. He wants to give him the opportunity to play when he's ready. And you can't possibly know any of these guys are ready yet. So trading Jimmy Garoppolo just forces the rookie onto the field right away, which is exactly what John Lynch said he didn't want to do. He wanted to have the flexibility not to do that. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to happen. Also, if you trade Jimmy Garoppolo, you probably got to make a move for a guy like Gardner Minshew, who's a loser. That's my advanced scouting report of Gardner. So, I don't anticipate Jimmy Garoppolo trade this weekend. That's how I feel. Jim Brony, what's up, Jim, says, here's the thing. With Lance over anyone else in the draft, you just see that it factor all across the board. Personality, football smarts, etc. Yes, absolutely. He is the quarterback I think the Niners should take at number 2 if they take a quarterback. Here's the thing, though. Let's say they take Trey Lance. Let's say they take Mac Jones. Either one. Both of them have only started 17 games since high school. Mac Jones was just hanging out on the bench at Alabama as a third stringer behind Jalen Hurts, a second stringer behind Tua, never won a competition, got the job bequeathed to him when Tua got hurt, and he played well, but everyone plays well at Alabama. I mean, really. So he started 17 games. Lance started 17 games. What if neither one is really better than Jimmy Garoppolo right now? What if neither one is capable of leading the 49ers to a winning record next year? That's plausible. Why do you just assume a rookie quarterback is going to step in with no OTAs, no minicamp, possibly, and win 10, 11 games next year? Is that what happens? I mean, Justin Herbert was great last year, won 5 games. Great. So I think it's fair to be like, you can't really predict how many wins a rookie quarterback's going to have. You can't pencil that in. And here's the thing. Let's say they draft Lance or Jones and they start them right away because they want to accelerate the guy's learning curve. Great. Okay, they struggle. Fine. That was part of the plan. They go, let's say Mac Jones is the pick and he goes 6-11 next year. 6-11 or 5-12. Okay. Well, at least the Niners have a high first round pick next year, right? Wrong. No first round pick next year. There is no incentive for the Niners to not win next year. They got to win. And they got to win the year after that because no first round pick. The Dolphins are over there hoping the 49ers draft Mac Jones or Trey Lance and start him next year. Like, please do it, man. Please. We want to pick top 15 next year. We want that top 15 pick next year. And the Niners might just give it to them. So I think there is some desperation for them to find the guy who helps them the most now because there's no incentive to lose. They've done a lot of losing and they've always, justified it like, well, we had bad luck, but at least it helped us get Nick Bosa. At least it helped us get the number 3 pick. There ain't no at least this time. Losing is bad now. They've done a lot of it on this team. Kyle's 6 games under 500. Got to win. And that puts a lot of pressure on this rookie quarterback. Hold on. Oh, thank you. Jeremy says, was Shanahan trying to blow up the relationship with Jimmy at the press conference so SF would be forced to take a quarterback that can play right away? Yeah, I think, yes. I don't know, man, but it seemed like he was trying to blow up a lot of relationships. Like, hey, John, you want to have your own press conference? Tough. My team. Oh, you wanted people to think you make this call? No, it's my call. My press conference. You want to tell people that we like Jimmy and he's all in and he's in the Zoom meetings and he's going to be our no, I don't like him at all. He said it's the injuries, but it only starts there. Remember that Shanahan said it starts with the injuries. He didn't get into the rest. The issue is he doesn't like the way Jimmy executes his offense. That's what it is. The injuries are just a cop-out. It's what you can say publicly. Can't say I don't like, he's a terrible decision maker. He can't execute my offense. Can't say that. But yeah, it seemed to me he was saying like, I can't have Jimmy Garoppolo. I want a divorce now. I can't live one more day in the same vicinity as this guy. So get him out. Give me Mac Jones. It seemed, hey man, here's the thing. If Kyle Shanahan gets overruled here, and Jed York and John Lynch do what's right for the organization and listen to the entire scouting department and not just Kyle and his dad, what's going to happen to Kyle? Is he going to want to coach Trey Lance? Is he going to give it his all for Trey Lance? Or is Kyle going to be a subversive? Is he going to be a saboteur? In which case, Kyle got to go. You get a chance to coach this guy, but if you don't want to coach Trey Lance and you don't give it your all, you got to go because a lot of people do want to coach Trey Lance. Very interesting question. Interesting topic. All right, now let's talk about why Kyle wants Mac Jones. I know why. I mean, I don't know if he doesn't want Trey Lance, but the thing about drafting Trey Lance is that's an upside pick. If you don't get it out of him, the next coach will. And a lot of people will want to coach Trey Lance. Mac Jones is a system quarterback. Trey Lance is not. Trey Lance is, I mean, just moldable clay. He's someone you could take and make the ultimate quarterback for your system. Mac Jones is a system quarterback. He's not going to fit what Seahawks want to do, what the Cardinals want to do, what a lot of teams want to do. Apparently, he fits what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. So here's the thing. You trade up and you draft a quarterback that really only fits your offense. Well, that just gives you job security. That's survival, right? Because if you draft Trey Lance and you fail with him, they don't get rid of Trey Lance, they get rid of you, and they bring in someone else who has maybe a better track record developing quarterbacks. You draft Mac Jones and it doesn't work out and they fire you, who are they getting to replace you? Who wants to coach Mac Jones? Well, only someone that would run the same offense that Kyle runs. So you'd be firing Kyle to replace him with Kyle Light, Diet Kyle. And Kyle knows that. Like, go ahead, fire me and replace me with Mike McDaniel or one of my former underlings. Like, sell that one to the fan base while I go somewhere else and get a coronation once again. So I feel like that's why he's drawn to these system quarterbacks. It keeps him relevant. Anyone could coach Patrick Mahomes, right? But only Kyle can coach Mac Jones. Only Kyle can make Mac Jones special. So that's why he wants a system quarterback. I'm guessing. Hey, Kyle, prove me wrong, please. Draft anyone but Mac Jones. If you draft Mac Jones, your approval rating will sink faster than anyone's has ever sank in the history of the world. But you take anyone else, Niner fans will love you. Love you. I think you know that. I don't think you care, but you should. You really should. And you will someday. Hold on. Who would Grant draft at 3? All right, let's talk about it. I'm still saying I would draft Kyle Pitts. I love Trey Lance. The more I learn about him, the more I like him. But let's not act like he's a slam dunk here. He's not. He has a chance to be a Hall of Fame level player. He's got that kind of talent, a chance. Kyle Pitts, in my opinion, is going to be a Hall of Fame player barring injury. There's nothing he needs to refine, no skill he needs to add. He got it. He just needs to not tear up his knee. And even if he does, he'll miss 1 year, come back, be great. This is the way I look at it. Everyone says you got to draft a quarterback when you trade up all those picks. I don't see it that way. You don't win the trade because you took a quarterback. You don't win the trade if the quarterback ends up being a serviceable starter like Jimmy Garoppolo or serviceable plus like, I don't know, Kirk Cousins. No. When you trade 3 first-round picks, not 2, Kyle, 3. Mac Jones or whoever is taking up 3 picks, 21, 22, 23. When you do that, the guy has to be a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. He's got to be a Hall of Famer. Doesn't matter what position, man. If you trade 3 first-round picks for a Hall of Fame tight end, you won the trade. Congratulations. You won the trade. The history books will say that you were smart. The Dolphins were overly cautious. They could have had the greatest tight end, a Hall of Fame tight end, but no, they traded down. And you got Kyle Pitts. And who did they get? They got some guy no one's ever heard of, and this guy no one's ever heard of. Like, you win. But you trade up 3 first-round picks for freaking Mac Jones or someone else who ends up having a decent career, maybe goes to 1 Pro Bowl, maybe not. Everyone's like, hey, man, you blew that one, huh? You thought you needed a quarterback. You drafted based on need. It was a desperation pick. You weren't true to your draft board. You knew that Kyle Pitts had a way better draft grade than this guy, but you were desperate. You had a need, and you took this guy, and you said, well, we hope. Hoping and praying that he turns out to be what we know Kyle Pitts is going to be. So, look, you take Kyle Pitts, and you're like, well, we don't have a quarterback. Okay, well, forget the quarterback for a second. Kyle Pitts on the field with Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Mostert, 12 personnel. Forget Kyle Juszczyk. We'll use him another time. You got those 2 tight ends on the field. How does the defense match up? Right? How do they do that? Do they match up with their base defense? 3 linebackers? I don't think so, because no linebacker in the league is going to be able to cover Kyle Pitts or George Kittle. Whichever tight end gets the linebacker matchup is going to go crazy that day. You can't do it. So the Niners go with this big personnel package of Pitts and Kittle, 2 tight ends. Defenses really have to match up with nickel. I'm saying 3 safeties, 2 linebackers, a smaller personnel grouping, which is just perfect for the 49ers who want to run the ball anyway. So you get this tight end who's 6'6" and runs like a wide receiver. People have to honor him like a wide receiver. Now it's even easier for you to run the ball than it was before because you're going against light defenses. Then when you get to the red zone, which has been the Niners offense's problem, they can get to the red zone, but when they get there, they settle for field goals way too much than they should. Boom. Now you have a 6'6" receiver with the longest wingspan ever recorded. No problem. Now, Kyle, you don't have to be clever in the red zone. You just have to say, hey, Jimmy or Josh, whomever, throw it up to Kyle Pitts. End of story. It just seems like if you give this kid to Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy's going to have an MVP level season if he stays healthy. Even Josh Rosen. These guys could win and put up huge numbers. You want to win next year? You want to not worry about having a 6-11 season and having Miami pick for you? You want to win? Get Kyle Pitts. And then you can handle the quarterback issue next year. Then you could get, the Tom Brady, the Matt Ryan, whichever veteran guy leaves his team and wants to go win a ring, come here. Just think it's a smart thing to do. But, time will prove me right on this one. I feel very confident. The Mike says, what if Kyle wanted Fields all along and is surprised people thought Mac Jones? Fields falling is what he wanted all along in the media for the Jets. I got another conspiracy theory. How do we know the Jets aren't going to take Justin Fields? How do we know? You could say he's ready to start right away. You could say he's ready for the scrutiny of New York. You could say that Robert Saleh should want a quarterback like Justin Fields. He can't stop quarterbacks like Justin Fields. He does great against guys like Mac Jones. He knocked out Drew Brees last year. But anytime he faces a quarterback who breaks the pocket, runs around, Saleh has problems. He knows that. And from a defensive coordinator's perspective, you face a guy like Justin Fields, he's the bigger problem because on third down, he limits the coverages you can call. You can't call 2 deep safety, man underneath, because he'll run for big games. It's what Kaepernick used to do. So you got to spy him. You got to play zone coverage, one of the two. You got to play single high safety. It restricts what defensive coordinators can call. They hate that. They face a guy who's not going to move like Jimmy Garoppolo. They go crazy. They get all of a sudden they're MacGyver on the field. They're inventing ways to mess up that quarterback. When it's Fields are like, man, that's like 3 things I could call right here. There's like 3 things. I hate this. So I wouldn't rule out Justin Fields going to the Jets, and then all of a sudden Zach Wilson falls to the Niners. And again, Kyle Shanahan is totally redeemed. Niner fans are like, I'm so sorry, take it back. I'm going to pretend you never wanted Mac Jones. We're just going to move on and pretend that you never even thought about that. That's what I think. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss any of these. Yep. Grant, who I would take. Yep. Hold on. I'm just making sure because I missed a few last night, and that's like stealing money from people. I don't want to do that. That's not why I got in this business. All right. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's the whole thing. Those are all my topics. Yeah, I'm done. That's my show. Anyone? Yeah, that's my whole show. I hope I convinced you on the Kyle Pitts thing. It just seems like overthinking it, man. I mean, what's the point of even having a draft board if you're not going to follow it? Everyone agrees that Kyle Pitts is the first or the second best player in the draft. And the Niners are going to take the third best quarterback. Not the third best player, but the third best quarterback and pass up a Hall of Fame talent. Man, if this quarterback is in a Hall of Fame or two, you're going to regret this for forever. 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 All right. Hold on. Last one, then I'm out of here. Don't you think we should trade Jimmy for whatever we can get? Start Rosen, Lance, Josh Johnson as QB3. As I said earlier, man, if you start Rosen next year, you start Lance next year, you start Josh Johnson next year, there's a very real chance you go 5-12, 6-11. And there's nothing good about that because there's no first-round pick next year. The reason to keep Jimmy Garoppolo is because he wins when he's healthy. And they got to win. They got to win. So if Trey Lance beats out Jimmy Garoppolo in camp, great. Trey Lance is ready. Same for Mac Jones. The expectation is to win now, not like go out there, figure it out, win 5. No, absolutely not. So if it's just get a 5th for Jimmy, no, that's Kyle. That if they trade a 5th, if they only get a 5th for Jimmy and they make that deal now, that's Kyle being like, I don't care what's best for the team. This is what's best for me. I want him out. Besides Fields, who do you see falling? Not necessarily a quarterback. I don't know. How about Mac Jones? The Niners don't take him. They take Trey Lance, and Mac Jones falls forever. He just goes in an endless loop of falling. 3 weeks from now, still falling somewhere. Kind of like in Star Wars where they fall off that big thing and you just go forever. Yeah, like that. Okay, guys. That's the end of my little spiel. It's been 20 minutes. I just want to do a little quickie. I'll be back at 1 with Jason, and then I'll be back after the pick, after the round. It's going to be a very long night. I'm looking forward to it. Hang tight. See you soon.